All right, so I want to share with you a small exercise that can help connect you with your heart, your chest, and general vocal resonance. So it's going to be largely connecting somatic and mindfulness exercises. So very first, just before we get started, maybe I just ask you to roll your shoulders up to your ears. Breathe in and exhale, relax. And we'll do that 2 more times, inhaling, shoulders up. So inhaling through the nose, shoulders up. And release through the mouth. Okay, maybe just give the shoulders a bit of a roll. So what we're trying to do is build a relationship with the body, understand where it's at, how it's feeling. From day to day, it's going to be a bit different. And depending on how we hold our habitual conditioning, someone like myself, I need to kind of key in, tune in, how's the body doing? What are we experiencing in this physical field, emotional field, energetic field? The whole works. It's a very complex system. Fortunately, a lot of it just works of its own accord, so you don't have to worry about it. But we can use the breath as a vehicle, as a little bit of a junction point, so to speak, just to build a bit more intimacy and immediacy around what's arising in the body. So we use the breath, and for me right now, it's like inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. So this will be the exercise just for now. We'll move on to the resonance in a moment. So inhaling, feel the air coming through the nostrils, and exhaling through the mouth. The encouragement here is to really tune in as the breath comes in. Feel, sense the air, allow the air to flow out. Just a couple more moments. Maybe you can sense the warmth of the air as it travels out of the mouth. Just a couple cool, calming breaths. And so as the breath is coming out of the mouth, maybe we can start to encourage some vocalization. So at this point, just continue your breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're using intention to contact the breath. So we're actually telling the breath or the body that I'm going to make sound now. So it's not an imposed request. And of course, if you like relaxing the exercise, that's fine too. It's intentional, okay? So it's from intention first. So I've encouraged you to make sound with the exhale. It's going to go a little bit like this. I'm not sure what just happened there. How fun. Okay, take that off. This is the first time doing this, so it's going to be, layered with all sorts of excitement. So inhale, and you're going to... So currently it's not vocalized. Okay, so this is the backdrop of the sound. So it's a... Yeah, H-A. So inhaling. And so currently, as you're doing it, you're more than welcome to continue doing it. My encouragement is to feel the tongue relax and feel the back of the throat nice and relaxed as you... So sometimes it's quite common to bring the breath in, hold it, and let it go. But right now, we just want a easeful, soft breath in. And then an exhale. As I'm doing this, I'm going to encourage the eyebrows and the eyes and the cheeks to relax as the exhale goes. So breath comes in and exhale. And as an added layer, maybe you can feel the whole back soften down to the ground. So like the shoulder blades, the whole back, all the muscles, they descend down to the floor. So the in-breath comes in, and the exhale. So you can keep going just a few more. The visualization that I like to play with is like a waterfall, or like warm or hot lava or hot water just running down the back as you exhale. So as I've applied that visual, now there's some resonance, or there's some phonation, so there's actual sound occurring. So my encouragement here, we don't have to get too technical, not even have to get too hung up on what is exactly happening in the throat, because we're quite good at mimicking, copying, and following someone else who's demonstrating. We just go into that, and when you start to build more confidence, you start to feel into your own experience. Can I sense the breath coming in? Can I sense the breath coming out? Does that feeling of the warmth of the waterfall running down the back of the head, the neck, the back itself, the whole back help? So my encouragement here is breath comes in and out. So we're looking for the chords to vibrate across the whole breath. So the way that I look at it is that the out breath is like an arc. Okay, so the breath comes in and the breath comes out. Sometimes you can apply that with movement. Breath comes in, hands come up the center of the body. Breath comes out, hands go down. So we've got our canvas, yeah? Breath going out. And now we want to stroke the canvas. Yeah? Still working on this analogy, but anyway. With the color of the voice. Without intentionally going, I'm going to ha now, yeah? We don't have to go too hard about it, yeah? So breath comes in. And sigh, release out. My encouragement here is that as we sigh, release, there's a natural sirening down or pitch bend. And you'll notice, you know, for some it might be really short, some might be a bit longer, medium. Each breath is going to be different. So we just want to be curious right now, because we're just building that relationship. We're just saying, hey body, hey breath, how you feeling? Yeah, we're just opening up the gateway. This is really, really awesome way of just checking in with the body, checking in with the voice, and checking in with the breath. Because sometimes your breath might come in and it might go, you know, so to speak. So the breath itself is a bit stilted, so to speak, and it's not smooth. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because that just happens, but sometimes it could just mean that there's little tension pockets in the torso, or even in the neck or the tongue. So this is a real practice of letting go. In the where I'm studying with kinesiology and the sort of Eastern way of looking at things, the inhale is a great way to kind of revitalize the body, bring fresh energy into the body. The exhale. Great way to exhale, to let go, to release, yeah? So this is the exercise. We want to take it an extra step forward, or, you know, start to explore it in a slightly different way. We can put our hand on our chest, and right now I'm talking to you, obviously, and I can feel the vibrations, the resonance, small vibrations in the chest as I'm speaking. So I would encourage you to pick up a book or pick up a sentence or whatever, repeat what I'm saying, and see if you can put your hand on your heart and see if you can feel the vibrations. This is something I would encourage you to explore. If you're finding it a little bit challenging, sometimes, don't say often, but there's a chance we're not very connected in our chest area. We think about the chest, the heart, the lungs, the sort of rhythm, life beating machines, so to speak. So beautiful energies here in the chest. And so what we're trying to do is just connect a little bit more, just connect more with it, really. So right now my hands are both on there. You can just do one hand, and we're going to do the same exercise. So take a moment. You can breathe out if you wish. You can breathe in through the nose. So there's a couple moments towards the end where the chords are not necessarily vibrating and the air is just going through. And so what I'm just curious about right now is doing what I can. It's been quite a busy day, so doing what I can do to gently sigh, release the breath. So the voice, this is the voice, right? And the breath is the arc, or the voice or the sound or the tone is going to ride that. So if anything, the breath can still go, right? And the tone might release early. But more often than not, it's the other way around. The breath is going, tone, we try to push tone on top of the breath. We get to this like sort of wall, this restricted place. Probably, especially with descending the phrase, the jaw, the tongue gets all tense. So my kind of exploration here, or my curiosity here, is how do I build a more intimate relationship with my breath so that at any given point I understand what it needs, what it's wanting, and as from, I guess, a co-creation space, I'm using my intention to communicate with the breath, to let it know that I would like to make sound. And that's fine, right? No problem there. Because it's the relationship between the breath, the thought, I'm going to express something now. And sometimes the body is not on board with it. So I often use these sort of symbols, like one for the breath, one for the tone that's being created. And the breath is going, and the tone's going, but sometimes we push too much acceleration in the breath, too much, or the tone's kind of pushing too much. So we just sort of want to like feel the relationship. They won't necessarily go all the time at the same way. And forgive me if this is a little bit esoteric, but we're just looking for a sort of a balancing point where the tone's actually balancing on the breath or riding the breath. Yeah, that's what I'm interested in. So the exercise, which I feel like I may have tangented a little bit, is to sense the hands on the chest and to feel that resonance in the chest. And, through exploration, to sort of find a relaxed, smooth descension. But I should preface, it's not always about having the goal. As I've just said, a couple of times, about building the relationship. And with anything that is loving, caring, and you want to pay attention to it, we don't always want to force an agenda on it. Otherwise, it starts to feel sort of contrived or put upon, okay? So my understanding is that we build the relationship, we start to understand the breath and the body a little bit more clearly, and then maybe it's kind of like, okay, breath, body, ... I need to sing something that requires a little energy or a little bit of effort here. Are you happy to come on board? We'll do something together, so to speak. So here's my offer to you. Give it a go. See what happens. For those super technical humans, if I've gotten anything wrong, please let me know. Just shoot me through a message. Very much more a feelings experiential person, and I'm talking from my experience. So that's where it's at. If you found it helpful, let me know. We'll just spend the last couple moments maybe trying a couple rounds. Yeah. So inhale, come through the nose. Exhale, we'll descend down. Okay. We're not going for like the longest slide or the shortest slide. We're organically, intuitively, with a sense of wakefulness and relaxation, responding to the exhale breath, because the exhale will have its own intelligence and will only want to be as long or as short as it feels it needs to be at any given time. And you'll know, hopefully, as you build a relationship, when you're forcing the exhale, when you're forcing tone on breath that is just not there, or maybe forcing breath on tone that's not there. Yeah, but that's a sort of another discussion. Okay, all right, it's just a lot of talking. So feel the breath coming in, and sigh, release out. Do your best to allow the jaw and the tongue to be relaxed. Inhaling in. Eyes are relaxed. Behind the eyes are soft and relaxed. Each time there's probably a little bit more space, a little bit more expansion, a little bit more range, maybe. Just watch the engine as we get down to the bottom, because sometimes the engine starts to stall a little bit. It's okay, as long as it's not pushed, we just let the air kind of fall through. And if the tone is not coming through, that's fine, right? So relax jaw, relax tongue, relax eyes. Yeah? One more. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Feel free to just give the head a little bit of a roll. Maybe the jaw's a bit tight. You can just, at the jaw hinge, just give it a little bit of a rub. And maybe under the chin, at the root of the tongue, you want to give that a bit of a rub. And then I love these little areas. This is the first intercostal between the first rib cage and the second. And it's soft. You might be able to feel it. You might be able to like go exploring here. Most people it's quite sore. So I just like to give it a bit of a rub. And we'll get into that in another video. We're just sort of feeling into that and just giving a bit of a release, a little relax of the heart. Okay, thanks for listening. Let me know what you found helpful. And this is my first go at something like this. And hey, let's see what happens next.